LinkedIn is taking a second to get going, but we are here with a unique edition of the weekly events update. I'm calling in live from Chicago Airport during a layover here in Terminal 2. I don't know, B. I'm in a B gate right now. Um, just saw a big old 777 pull in right here in front of me. Um, and so I've got my pal Curtis on the line. Good morning. Good morning,
Hey,
Curtis.
good morning.
Hey, so we're gonna do this just a little bit differently. Um, just have a little more fun. We typically do these in a really official way, but obviously you can't be terribly official when you're sitting at an airport and drinking Dunkin' iced coffee and whatnot. So quick shout out to CSCMP for being a sponsor of this events calendar, helping make all this possible. And yeah, Curtis, let's roll. Let's roll into your intro. So Curtis is the head of growth at Supply Chainy. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not very tall, and I've been working on growing for a long time. Um, so Curtis trying to help me out with that. So Curtis, you want to take a second and do a quick intro of yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hey, I'm Curtis, head of growth with Supply Chainy, just trying to get Nathan in front of as many conventions and as many people as possible because apparently people like what Nathan has to say, myself included. So, yeah, definitely love being part of this train, and it's super cool to be a filler in for today.
Hey, you don't have to say all those nice things just because I pay you to say them or anything like that. Um, so, and also Curtis is also the expert in transportation and freight and all things truck related. You want to touch on what you do on that side of the house?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's all the putting out fires component. So basically, that piece of what Nathan has going on is infrastructure development for data centers. And so we specifically handle the specialized overdimensional freight that is part of that infrastructure development. It's pretty cool. It's getting a little bit of heat in the media right now. But I imagine it's just a matter of time for some people to start stepping in and saying, "Hey, look, this is necessary," um, and these are things that we have to get done as far as being able to move forward with everything AI. All these data centers need to go in, so it's kind of cool. We're definitely dealing with problems on a daily basis, but always solving them. So
I always remember your the podcast because Curtis was my very first ever podcast. Um, he kind of you always remember that phrase that people always ask you what you do for a living and you tell them you're a fireman.
yeah,
Um,
firefighter.
yeah, firefighter. Um, okay, well, the 777 here is starting to get unloaded. Once they start bringing out the cans from the belly on the little loader, I'll see if I can turn the camera again. But until then, let's take a quick look at what is going on this week. One thing I think that's special about what's going on in this week in July and next week is there's not a lot going on because it's like a holiday time and a lot of organizations, in fact, like CSCMP and ASCM, ISM, like these groups that I'm part of in DFW, a lot of folks just say, hey, we're just like taking off the whole summer or taking off July and not doing much. So that is something that even big organizers that are putting on big conferences do as well. So we're kind of in like a slower season as far as big conferences and events, but there's still some out there. So case in point, for this particular week right now, starting today, the Midwest Association of Rail Shippers is getting together in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin for their summer meeting. I think they always get together there in Lake Geneva. ProcureCon is going on in Singapore. Supply Chain Partners has a virtual summit going on. That's
That's a
on
good. I'll
Wednesday.
actually, I think think I'm actually going to be part of that one. They got some
Okay.
cool sustainable practices components to that. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Represent us well. And then there's something going on, a cybersecurity in-person thing in Colorado Springs for securing the warehouse on Friday. Uh, Later on next week, we've got like um, the Truckload Carriers Association is doing their refrigerated meeting. Um,
Oh,
Also,
maybe,
in
you know
uh-huh,
if Daniel Chang with Cool Innovations is going to be there? He's our buddy.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know,
we'll have to
but
dig into that one.
it's a cool, innovative company, though. Daniel Chang's with. Um, do, Curtis, I'm curious from your own personal experience of being in the freight brokerage side for many years. Have you done much refrigerated stuff?
Oh, I have, and
Oh
I
yeah.
will say that I try and avoid it. Um, it's that's a risky. It can be risky, right? Because you are relying upon refrigerated units on these, and if there's a problem and it's not caught immediately, it can cost a whole shipment. But there's some really cool, innovative technology that does put in some safety systems when there are
Mhm.
issues. But yeah.
Yeah, I've never done anything refrigerated. I'm happy to let other people deal with that stuff.
I get blown away when I see a rail shipment that is filled with refrigerated containers. Gosh, there's so much risk involved there, right? Like,
Yeah,
how are you going to fix something that there's a problem when it's on a train?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm sure somebody can chime in maybe and give us some education on this. I have zero experience in that space.
yeah. Me too. Me too. Um, well, on the 17th, we've got our next Supply Chain Social Club event, and that's the Global Trade Cafe, which typically has a global audience show up. And CSCMP is hosting a golf outing in Cleveland, the Cleveland Roundtable there. Um, and then the North Texas ASCM board is having a strategy session on the 19th, which is a Saturday, and I'm planning to stop by and participate in that a little bit. I'm thinking that I'm going to stop for 2 seconds here, the screen sharing, because currently right now the they're offloading the the plane here, the containers. You can see this little material handling equipment that's moving them out of the belly of the plane,
I
rolling
love
over.
that. And for a lot of people don't know, right? Nathan and I, we went through the same program, logistics and supply chain management. But one of the things that I don't know if you had to go through this, but I did, was the aviation logistics, and absolutely fascinating how, they created this system. Of, it's cool. It's so cool. It was a game
There you go.
changer.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Back to business. Even though business is fun and it's watching
Hey,
planes
speaking of business,
doing
you
stuff.
see have you, I don't know, I get on social media very little, but one of the things that I saw that was really interesting this year for 4th of July was people taking a bunch of Roman candles
Uh-huh.
and like strapping them like this much of them and putting them on their belly and shooting them off. Did you see any of these?
I did not. Did you give it a try?
Well, you're going to have to check this out. It's interesting.
Okay. Shoot me a link later. Um, all right, let's take a look at. So I was just touching on the next Supply Chain Social Club event is Global Trade Cafe on the 17th. And then we're planning a pool party for July 30th, but more information on that. But that's going to be an international virtual pool party at the Supply Chain Social Club. More info to come. So maybe let's take a look at where I will be here in the near future. So for one, let's pull this up. We've got the IWLA Fulfillment Forum that's going to be taking place on August 7th and 8th in Toronto. Uh, Kevin's going to be in town. Aaron Oppeter from ISBA. Kara Smith Brown is going to be part of the presenting team as well. And then I think Kevin and I are actually going to do a podcaster versus podcaster sort of face off on Tuesday on the second day morning to get things started. And also the night before the actual forum kicks off on August 6th, we will be hosting our third edition of Warehousing After Dark Live. That's going to be taking place at the Duke of Cornwall pub in Toronto. And we're just about to open up the invitations for that event. That's going to be open to everybody in the Toronto area, starting at 7 p.m. on Wednesday the 6th. Additionally, we've got the Panama Supply Chain Forum that's going to be taking place on September 3rd in Panama City. So they've got a nice countdown time right here on their website. So it's 87 days from now that'll be taking place. This is the third.
Yeah.
This is the third time that this event is happening. It's been in motion for 5 years, but darn COVID interrupted things for a couple of years. And so they're getting back in now with year number 3 right now. So really excited to be part of that. Oh, look at those names on there. And then we've also got the Change North America conference coming up. This is in Columbus, Ohio on September 9th to 10th. Was just in Belgium and Brussels for a couple of days for the European version of this show. So looking forward to getting there into Columbus and hanging out with everyone with the Change North America conference. And then a little bit later on in the year, we've got the CSCNP Edge conference going on at the Gaylord there. And you could basically call it Washington, D.C., but I think more appropriately, it's National Harbor, Maryland. So that is taking place October 5th to 8th. And that kind of covers, at least for the known for this week, what the schedule looks like for the rest of the year for where I will be at. Yeah. Subject to change. There's going to be more added in here.
Now, is there if I'm curious, like where to find you, right? Like what's a great way to see where is it?
Wow, I wonder how you could do that. Great question, Curtis. Wow, nice.
Yeah,
So actually there's so much travel and event going on that I worked with my friends at Frigere to come up with a little tracker to track where I'm at, both where I've been and where I am. And so in any of these, you can see any of the conferences. You can actually go check out the conference where it was and go check out the playlist of videos that I shot while at that conference. And that's all linked here. And so you can see the upcoming events are also linked here as well. So you can kind of track me. The next innovation that I'm planning to unveil here, actually, I'm wearing them right now. And that's these Ray-Ban Meta glasses. And what I'm thinking I'm going to try to do is use these to give like that point of view, sort of behind the scenes sort of look at what it's like to just, travel around the world and shoot content and interview people and have fun with supply chain people. And so these guys like link right into Instagram. So I'm going to kind of just give like a first view of what it's like, just doing what I do. And in fact, I think I want to, I'm going to hit stop on this real quick, stop sharing, because I want to take a snapshot from here right now of having this meeting. So let's see, I'm going to do, so the funny thing is it actually, get my hair a little better here. It actually, with my hat, because the hat is right here, it catches the edge of the cap in the picture. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm gonna let's see. So there's a button on the top right here. I can take a picture, and then I can also tell it to take pictures. It's crazy. Anyway, all right, you ready? Get ready for your photo op. All right, there we go. And then I can tell it. I can say, you say, hey Meta, take a picture. There we go. Yeah. Or you can tell it to like take a video clip. You can tell it to like post directly to Instagram. It's crazy.
Can
This
you
is my
tell
first
it
day wearing
to remove some of the gray out of my hair? Let's
it.
really explore the limitations here, right?
So check this out. So this is the case for them, and it has a charging mechanism in the case. So when you put them in, the little note in the top of the nose, there's little charging contacts right
That's
there,
cool.
and it charges in the case. Nuts.
That's
What are they
cool.
gonna think of next, man? Um, yeah. So there you go. We'll see how this
Well,
all
and
turns out.
you know what? You have a good face for glasses.
Which means if I can hide 10% of it, it's better. Yes.
No, that's
Um,
not what I mean. It's not like a radio face, right? Like they fit on your
um,
face well. They make you
man,
seem
I think
smart.
glasses make people look smarter. That's what
They
I've
do.
always said. Like
Absolutely.
people with
Yeah.
glasses look
Instantly.
10% smarter.
Yeah.
Bart DeMonk, the newsletter, today's
Oh,
newsletter had
go
all
on.
the supply
Yep.
chain,
Yeah.
speaking of Bart, had all of the supply chain contributors introduced today. So one thing that Bart
Oh man.
said when we were in Belgium is, do you know it's like scientifically proven that if you put your middle initial in your name, like Bart A. DeMonk, then it automatically makes people think you're smarter. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, if you got glasses, if you put your middle initial, like there's all these little hacks.
I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stick that because God knows I need help, right?
Curtis A.
Okay, go
Pogue.
ahead. Yeah,
Yeah,
Curtis A. Poe, right. So yeah, Bart
Curtis
and I
A.
share that.
Oh
We
yeah,
have a
yeah.
lot in common,
You
including
have a
our middle
lot in
initials.
common with
Yeah,
Bart. That A
yeah.
middle name, huh?
Hey,
Um,
strong lineup though on the supply chain group, no doubt. Like that, I saw that release and I'm like, yeah, this is strong. So
it's
it's just a matter
yeah,
of getting through the introductions and then start rolling out with the good stuff.
yeah, into the normal business. I think the cool one there is that Allison is like a 2 times Ironman triathlon finisher.
That is
Like
cool.
that's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I think that wraps it up for this week. I'll just kind of leave with just saying for anyone who wants to join in and talk about your event or conference that you're hosting or participating in, shoot me a DM and we'll get you on here. Or if there's any events that we didn't cover today that you want to make sure that people know about, just write in the comments here and just drop a link to it, the dates and details, because we want to make sure that everyone knows what's going on out there and that we want to just be that glue that helps to connect people to other people and connect people to ideas. So Curtis, thanks for joining. I've got an hour and a half till I'm catching my flight to Toronto in a second. So we're going to package this up and we'll catch y'all later. But until then, everyone, be safe and have fun out there.